All right, algebra. So we're going to continue solving radical equations. So I got a couple more examples for you. They get a kind of a little, not kind of, they get more challenging. And so the first example I got here is the square root of 4x plus 8 equals x plus 3. So when we look at this, the first thing we see is, all right, there's a square root. We got to get rid of that. To get rid of a square root, you need the square root all alone on one side and have it equal, which we do. So we're good. So to get rid of the square root, we square. But remember, if you square one side of the equation, you have to square the other. So if I'm going to take the square root of 4x plus 8, and I'm going to square it, so I'm squaring that whole thing, I got to square the other side. This is not x squared plus 3 squared, though. I got to square that whole expression there, x plus 3. That whole thing has to be squared. So now here, this is easy enough. The square and the square root cancel out. I just have 4x plus 8. Over here, though, I've got to FOIL this. Remember, x plus 3 squared, that really means x plus 3 times x plus 3. So if I were going to FOIL this, that's going to be, first is x squared, outer is 3x, inner is 3x, and last is 9 plus 9. So I'm going to combine my like terms there. So now I have 4x plus 8 equals x squared plus 6x plus 9. So now I want to solve this thing, but I got a whole lot going on here. But I can see I got a quadratic because I got an x squared. So I know I need to make it all equal 0. So this stuff on the left side I'm going to move over. I know a lot of times we kind of move everything from the right over to the left. But my reasoning is that's an x squared and it's a positive x squared. Where if you try to subtract an x squared to get it to the left side, it's now going to become a negative x squared, and that's going to make it much more difficult to factor. So I want to leave that positive if I can. So I'm going to subtract 4x to get rid of that. So I'll do that on that side. I'm going to subtract 8, subtract 8. So now I've got 0 equals x squared, 6x minus 4x is 2x plus 2x. 9 minus 8 is just 1. So now I need to factor this. So 0 is going to equal, I've got to factor it. So I got to think, what times what gives me 1? Well, that's 1. And I can see this is 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. So this is going to be x plus 1, x plus 1. So this one's a little interesting in that now our next step would be to split it. We'd have x plus 1 equals 0 or x plus 1 equals 0. These are the same thing. You don't need to solve it twice. So I'm just going to solve the 1, subtract 1. So I get x equals negative 1. I'm not going to do it over here because it would just be x equals negative 1 again. Now, am I done? No, you got to check it. I got to take that and plug it back in. So I'm going to take my root 4. In place of the x, I put negative 1 plus 8, and that is going to equal negative 1 plus 3. So I'm going to do the math here. This is going to be the negative 4 plus 8. Over here, negative 3 plus 1 is 2. Negative 4 plus 8 is 4, so I get the square root of 4 equals 2. So I'm going to get the square root of 4, which is 2, so I get 2 equals 2, so I'm good. I'm good. This worked out. X equals negative 1 is the solution to that equation. All right, that's example 1. I got one more coming, so check out that video.